Hello there, and welcome to Ollie Child's Views. I'm your host, Ollie Childs, and today, for our first review of this channel, we're going to be reviewing the 1988 classic Die Hard, starring Bruce Willis, as you can clearly see on the top of the name, and if you can't see, there you go. Bruce Willis stars as New York City detective John McClane, newly arrived in Los Angeles to spend the Christmas holiday with his estranged wife Bonnie Bedelia. But as McClane waits for his wife's office party to break up, terrorists seize control of the building, while the terrorist leader Hans Gruber, famously played by Alan Rickman, and his savage henchman Alexander Godunov round up hostages. McClane slips away unnoticed, armed with only a service revolver and his cunning. McClane launches his own one-man war. This movie is an absolute cracking thriller from beginning to end, and explodes with so much action and heart-stopping suspense. Now, the reason why I say this movie is explosive is because it literally is. This movie is probably one of the most explosive, enjoyable thrill rides of the 80s, or in any movie ever that you'll ever see. That is why it's my favorite movie of all time. It's explosive, it's entertaining, it's well written, the acting's absolutely brilliant. It's by Bruce Willis and Alan Rickman. We'll talk a bit about Alan Rickman in a minute and some other actors, but this movie is just absolutely explosive, which explains why it is directed by the brilliant and 80s movie genius John McTiernan, who also directed Predator and Die Hard 3 with a Vengeance. He knows what to put in a movie. He knows the explosiveness that is required for an action movie to be an action movie. He knows what an action movie is supposed to be. It's not just supposed to be girls with their tops off, showing all their body parts, showing, oh, look, I'm so sexy driving a Lamborghini. It's not Fast and Furious. It's classic. It's well written. The story is composing. It's explosive. It's not just the same idea over and over and over again. It is just one big story that is so entertaining and so compelling for you to watch that's what makes it brilliant. I'm telling you, I don't know anything. Just get on the plane to Japan. I'm telling you, you're just going to have to kill me.
Get on the jet to Tokyo and ask the chairman. I'm telling you, you're just going to have to kill me.
Okay. That's what actually makes Hans Gruber probably one of the best movie villains of all time. He's chilling. He's dark. He's probably one of the most creepiest, chilling villains of all time. He doesn't give a crap. If you mess with him, he will pull you off to one side, kill you, and then walk off, and then just kind of like make like no big deal out of it. He makes a pun at one point in the film. He goes, "I wanted to do this professionally. Officially not cooperative, not allowed to ask. Alas, you, Mr. Takagi, did not say it that way, so he won't be joining us for the rest of his life." Now, moving on to Bruce Willis, who plays the character of Detective John McClane. His character is unlike any other action movie hero you've ever seen. He's not one with big muscles, a machine gun, got scars, and a headband, and is willing to save the day in Vietnam or blow up people. He's going in there unexpected, and he takes control of the situation. At first, he's panicking himself, walking around like, why the fuck did you not do this? And why the fuck did you not do that? Blaming, going, think, and think, not knowing what to do and panicking. Until one point when he starts to get control of the situation by learning the blueprints of the whole building, going around, stopping Hans' plans and figuring out how to do this, and going back to his police training. That's brilliant, because that's when Hans Gruber had the higher hand here, and John McClane was just like down there, freaking out. And then it goes from that to that, like really quickly, because Bruce Willis figured out what he needs to do, and that's brilliant. That just makes him like any other action movie hero I've ever seen. Now, to finish off the review of this film, I would definitely say that Die Hard is a movie that you really need to watch right now. If you haven't seen Die Hard and are watching this review, first of all, I say you're stupid, don't know why you're watching this review. And two, you need to watch this movie. This movie is an absolute classic, down hard, funny, entertaining, explosive, like I've said before, and brilliantly well-written, explosive movie. That's why I'm going to give this movie an A. Not an A+, but it is a brilliant pass for me. So I really hope you enjoyed this really short cut of review and really quickly edited. I recorded this quite late, but I hope you enjoyed it, and see you later.
Die Hard. Got invited to the Christmas party by mistake. Who knew?